Hello and welcome to my channel, Crochet and Copy. My name is Judy. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this lovely corner-to-corner sunflower throw pillow cover. Just wanted to show you some of the other design I did when I was trying to come up with the sunflower pattern. That's how it looked and how I was working with it. And of course, it's different yarn color as you see I was using. Here, this one looks more like a sun instead of a sunflower. It came out okay, but that's not the idea I wanted. And this one I liked. This one is a butterfly. Came out really nice. And that's the front of it. But I did not design this one. I just saw this one on Pinterest. Someone had put it up there and I loved it, but I said I can't make a pattern for it because it's not my design. But just to show you the beauty of the corner to corner, what you could do with it, and just follow a pattern and you change up your color yarn, and that's how it looks. Before we get started, I wanted to show you how it would look when you finish it. But why I'm showing you this now is when it comes to deciding how you're gonna carry your yarn, because as you see, this is showing when we carry our yarn, and for it also too, you would get to feel and design in your sense of where you need to cut the yarn and where you need to attach it again, from how I'm going to be using the ball of yarn that we have. So you feel it and you see it, how you want to carry it. And I would suggest don't carry the yarn too far, because it will get bunched up. So I prefer not doing that. So yes, I'm going to have, this is how it's going to be when you finish it, and you have to tuck in the ends. Before we get started, I just wanted to show you the measurement of our throw pillow. These are supplies we're going to be using to make our corner to corner sunflower throw pillow. We use 4 different color yarn, but it's the same thing. It's the same brand, same everything. You see as we go through it. So it's from Red Heart Super Saver. It's 364 yards. And it's a medium 4 worst weight, 100% acrylic, and this color is lemon. The other one we have is the Cafe Latte. We're also going to use the bright yellow, and then we're going to use white. And our hook size is going to be the US H8. It's the 5.00 millimeter. We're going to have a stitch marker, a yarn needle, and the scissors. And of course we need our pillow that we're going to cover, and this size is the 16 by 16. All right, and that's how it is. So we need one of that, and that's our supplies. So let's get started. So this is what we're going to be working with to get the design of our sunflower. We're going to work with a graph, and the graph will help us to show where each of our little blocks will go, because that's what we do when we work with the corner to corner. We make little blocks, and this is the design. And this is how it looks when it finished, because I finished one. If you want to say it's the back or the front, but we need 2 of them, because we need a back for the throw pillow and the front. So I finished one already. So this is how I look when I finish it, and this is how we're gonna do this part together. Of course, you're gonna make 2 of them exactly alike, but I already did one, so I just wanted to show you how to do the other one, and where to put your little color change, and how to start making them. If you want the actual picture and the graph to work from, I do have a pattern for it and a PDF. I put that in the description. So check that description out, and you could print it out from the pattern. We're going to start with the white color yarn first. And to start off with our little blocks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull from the center of our yarn to start off with. So go ahead and do that. Pull out the center, find the little tail, and we're going to get started with that. To start off, we're going to start with block 1 right here, and our numbers are going to help us when we go along. And if you do it yourself and you follow along as we go, you see how the numbers work out. So we're going to start here first to make our first little block at number 1. To get started, we have to attach our hook to our yarn, and this is the way I'm comfortable in doing. If you have a different method, go ahead and use it. I take my yarn, drape it over my 2 fingers, I let it fall to the back, take my hook, put it between my fingers, and I pull up a loop of yarn, and then I have a little knot, and I take that little knot and I just tighten it against my hook, and that's it. That's a slip knot stitch, and that's how we get our yarn attached to our hook. Now we're going to do is chain, and a chain is simply yarn over your hook, pull through, yarn over your hook, pull through, yarn over your hook, pull through. That's how simple it is to do a chain, and you keep your chain loose, not tight, and we need 5 of them. So go ahead and do 2 more and I'll meet you there. We did 5 chain. So now what you're going to do is double crochet, and a double crochet is yarn over your hook. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn the chain to the back, and those little bars in the back or bumps in the back of our chain we just made, we're going to go into those. We're not going to use the front of it. And this helps when you keep your chain loose. So now you're going to find your 3rd chain from your hook. The first chain is right here, 2nd is here, and 3rd is here. So the double crochet is yarn over, and then you go into that chain. There you go. And you pull up a loop. So now you have 3 loops of yarn in your hook, yarn over, and you're going to pull across the first 2 loops. And then you have 2 more loops remaining in your hook, yarn over, and you pull across 2 of them at the same time. There you go, and that's a double crochet. So now we have 2 more chain remaining. So the 2 chain that we have remaining, we're also going to put double crochet there, and a double crochet is yarn over your hook, go into that chain, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops of yarn, yarn over, pull across the first 2, yarn over to complete it, and pull across the last 2. There you go. One more time, yarn over your hook, then go into that chain, and then you're going to pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull across the first 2 loops, yarn over your hook, and pull across. There you go. So that's how we look when we make our first little block. So what we're going to do now, we're going to keep a track. Of course, I have my pencil, and we're going to put just the number 1 right here. That's what I'm going to do. If you want to do something else in the block to remind you of where you're at, go ahead and do it. But I'm using numbers to work with. So that's our first little block right there. Now if you're working off the graph, we're going to start row 2, and what I do, I put a little arrow, and that's where I'm going to, the next row we're going to work with, row 2. So I start from the top here of row 2. Now for row 2, we're going to chain 5. So go ahead and do 5 chain, and I'll meet you there. Remember to keep your chain loose, and the same thing we did for the first block we made, we're going to do again. You're going to put double crochet, find the 3rd chain from your hook and put a double crochet there, and then the following 2 chain, you put a double crochet in there. So go ahead and do that, and then I'll meet you there. And with the corner to corner design, if you learn how to do the first little blocks, you're good, because the other design, as you see, is the same little shape of our little block. We're using that same design. It's just now learning how to work with the graph and the color change that makes it a little different. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is for row 2, we made our first little block. So right here, this is starting row 2. I put my number 1. That's our first little block for row 2. So now we have to move on to the next little block for row 2. Now to start forming our blocks, because we have to make 2 blocks to complete row 2, what you're going to do is you're going to take the first block that we made and you're going to turn it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to find that little space between that will be considered a chain space, because remember when we started, we did our first double crochet in the third chain from our hook, so that gave us that little space right there. So that's where we're going to go into. So what you're going to do is you're going to slip stitch into that so we could start forming our blocks. All right, so slip stitch is you go into that chain space and you pull up a loop, and then you're going to pull straight across. There you go, the other loop that we had on our hook. So that's how we're going to start stocking our little blocks. So now you're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and in that same chain space we're going to put 3 double crochet. So go ahead and put 3 double crochet right there. So now that's how we look when we make the second little block for row 2. Now we're going to go ahead and put in our little block right here. That's the second one. So that's how I like with the corner to corner method, the blocks that we have when we're increasing, because these are our increasing row that we start in, they match up. So if you have 3 blocks, you're on row 3. If you have 4 blocks, you're on row 4. That's how you remember how easy it is to keep a track of your increased row. So now to start row 3, what I do is we're going to go to this now. We're going to start here to start row 3, and our first little block is going to be put right here. This will be our number 1 block that we start. So now to start row 3, we're going to start off with the chain 5, 1, and then you find your third chain from your hook, you put your double crochet there, your first double crochet, and the following 2 chain you put double crochet there. So go ahead and do that. So now that's how we look when we start in row 3. So the same thing we did for row 2, because we're just making blocks as we go. You're going to make sure you turn your work, you find that chain space right there from the previous row we did, and you're going to go ahead and slip stitch into that, and then you're going to chain your 2, 1, 2, and in that same chain space you're going to put 3 double crochet. So go ahead and do that. That's how we look. So now let's go on to our chart, because that's 2. So that was our first one we made, and this is our second block for row 3. Now to make our last block for row 3, what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch into that chain space, and you're going to chain your 2, 1, 2. And after you chain your 2, you're going to put 3 double crochet into that same chain space. So that's how we look for row 3. We have 1, 2, 3 little blocks. And now for you, if you can remember what's the right side and the wrong side of your work, go ahead. You don't have to do this, but this is why we need the stitch marker. So this is the front of our work, and this is where we had row 1. So I'm going to put my little stitch marker right there so it reminds me. So now continue. I'm going to just continue doing it. So now for the third block we made for row 3, to complete it, put it right here. So this is a completion of row 3, and as you see, we have 1, 2, 3 blocks made for row 3. So all we're going to do is what we just did, okay, to stack, to keep on increasing with our little blocks. So I won't show you because we're just using the white yarn. So all you're going to do is keep a track of it. So now we finish row 3. So now row 4, you go up here and put your arrow. So you're going to start up here and work down. And then row 5, you put your little arrow, you work up. Row 6, you get the idea. And I meet you at row 9, because row 9 is where we're going to start changing color, and then I can show you how we do that. But it's the same little design and shape for our little blocks. So keep a track. Remember to use your pencil, write it down as you go. And we meet back up at row 9. Now we made it up to row 9. So for row 9, what you're going to do is you're going to start it with 3 blocks of white, and then I'll show you what to do next. So go ahead and do 3 blocks of the white, then we meet back up. So now we did the 3 blocks in white. So we're going to change now to the color we're using is the bright yellow color. And I pull from the center of the yarn, the ball of yarn. And with the new color yarn, all you're going to do is you're going to go into the chain 2 space, like you're going to start it. I drop the white color yarn, and now I take the bright yellow, I loop it over my hook, and I pull through because we're going to do the slip stitch. So it's where we do the slip stitch is where we change in our color yarn. After you do the slip stitch, you're going to do your regular chain 2. And what I like to do is just tug on the color that I was working with, because you see there's a little, the loop on it is a little loose. So I just tighten it from the back, tug on it on the back. And what I'm going to do is we're going to hold on to the white and the yellow, the tail. And we're going to work around them while we continue making the block. Because you know the block, you've been doing it, is you're going to do 3 double crochet into that same chain space. So that's 1. And you feel it when you do it. You know, you could tug on it a little bit. You feel it. So now go ahead and we put the number 4 in that block. See, the next block would be a white. We switch back to, and then the next one, the 6th, will be also that, the bright yellow. So we have to switch back to that, and then we're going to switch back to the white. So I'll show you again, and then you could go ahead and do the others as we see as we move on. So that's how we did the first color change of our block. So I'm going to drop the bright yellow, start back up with the white, and then I'm just going to pull up that loop for the, and tug against the color I drop, that slip stitch, and then you chain your 2. And now here, because I'm going to go back to the bright yellow in the next block we made, so I'm just going to carry it over as we move on. All right, so hold on to your white and just continue making the double crochet, but I'm carrying the color yarn, the bright color yellow, by putting it in front of my hook before I complete that first double crochet. So that's 1. So I went ahead and complete the 3 double crochet for that block with the white. So that's a 5th block made for row 9. So now we're going to switch back to the bright yellow. So I'm going to drop my white and then pick up the bright yellow, and then just slip stitch with it. Split my yarn, hold on, and pull across, and I'm going to chain my 2, 1, 2, and I'm tugging on it in the back so I could hold on a little better. And then of course, remember, we're going to come back to the white again, so I want to carry the white with me. So I make sure I hold on to it so it's in front of my hook, and then just complete that block with the bright yellow. Let me back up. Okay, so we did that, and remember, you could check, because you go, this will be block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then this would be our 6 right here with the bright yellow, and then the next block, block 7, will be our white. So I'm going to drop the white, the bright yellow again, and I'm going to start back with the white. But here I'm not going to carry the bright yellow, because you see 7, 8, and 9 will only be 3 more blocks we need will be in the white. So I just drop the yellow right there, the bright yellow, and leave it there, and then continue making the box as we go. Go ahead and complete making those 3 boxes, the block, of the white, and then we meet back up. So now, before we move on, I just wanted to show you how we look. This is the front. because we have a little stitch marker to remind us how it looks so far when we change our color. And this is the back. Now to start row 10, put my arrow because we're going to start that and we're going to work. So the first 1, 2, 3 blocks will be in white. So go ahead and do 3 blocks in white and then we meet back up. So now we did the first 3 blocks for row 10 in white. So now the 4th block will be a bright yellow. So, and what we're going to do is I'm going to put it in the front of our work and drop it there, the white that we're working with, and I'm going to pick up the yellow, the bright yellow. And then of course remember, whenever we change our color, we do it with the slip stitch. So just maneuver your hook so you can pick it up and then pull against the white that we drop. So tighten it up a little bit. And of course you know you do your chain 2 and then make the regular block by doing 3 double crochet. For block 4 for row 10, it's where we change color. That's right there, 4. Again, check 1, 2, 3, 4. So now for the next 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks, you're going to do them in the bright yellow. So continue working with it. When you get to the end of that, I'll meet up back again. So do 4 additional blocks of the bright yellow. We went ahead and did 5 blocks with the bright yellow as we follow the pattern. So now we have 2 more blocks remaining to complete round 10, and we have to put the white. It's white blocks now. But remember, when we stopped over here using the white, I dropped it there. So I'm not going to cut it off there. What I'm going to do, if you want to cut it off and start here, it's up to you, but I'm not going to do that. Less tails for me to tuck in later. So I'm going to leave that there. I'll show you what I do. And remember when we first started with our white ball of yarn, we started from the center. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to use the tail that's in the top of our yarn, and that's what I'm going to use. And with this kind of method, you just be careful you don't get tangled and too much knotted up when you're doing it. So just be careful about that, a caution word about that. But here, so now this is the back of our work. So I'm going to try to keep the tail here in the back and go into it, and just we're gonna, as we've been doing to change the color yarn and start a new one, just pull up a loop on your hook, pull across, and then we made that slip stitch. So I'm going to pull on it so it stays, and you chain your 2, 1, 2. I'm going to tuck on the yellow a little bit, and then go ahead and complete those 2 blocks that we have with the white. Now to complete row 10, right here, just put my 10 in there, and that's it, and that's how we look. Now row 11, we're going to start here. I'm going to put my little arrow so I know where I'm going, and this will be our first little block that we're going to put right here. So we're going to need 1, 2 blocks with the white. So go ahead and do that, and we meet back up. So now we did those 2 blocks with our white. So the next block will be the bright yellow, the bright yellow. So now, being that we have to make the 2 next block with the bright yellow, I take this white and I put it in the back of my work right now that I'm working on, and I pick up the yellow, the bright yellow, and I'm gonna hold on to the yellow and just do the slip stitch, and then chain my 2, pull against the white, the back, so it holds on, looks nice, and then complete those 2 blocks with the bright yellow, and then we meet back up. So we did those 2 blocks, block 3 and 4 with the bright yellow. So now our next 1, 2, 3 blocks, we have to do it in the next color. And the next color we're going to use is the lemon. So I'm going to get you started. So I take the bright yellow, put in the back of my work that I'm working on right now. And then since this is the front of my work, I don't want, we have the stitch marker remind us, I don't want my tail to be showing. So now I'm going to keep it in the back. And I'm just going to slip stitch because that's where we change our color, the slip stitch. And of course you drop the color yarn that you were working with. And then you're going to do your chain 2. And then just make that block. So now remember, you're going to make 1, 2, 3 blocks with the lemon. And then we meet back up. So we did that for 3 times with the lemon. And remember, when I start the new color ball of yarn, I pull from the center. Okay, so now the pattern has that we do 1, 2, 3, 4 in white. 4 of our blocks will be in white. So I'm going to drop my lemon in the back. And then here goes our white. Pick up the white. And then just make those 4 remaining blocks with our white. So this is how we look when we finish up row 11. So now we're going to start row 12. Now for row 12, what you're going to do is the 1, 2, 3 first blocks will be made with white. So go ahead and do that, and then we meet back up. So now that's what we look like when we did 3 of the white to start row 12. So now moving on with row 12, you have 1, 2, 3 will be of the bright yellow, but our bright yellow is attached here, and this is from the center of our ball of yarn. So what I'm going to do is just take from the top of our yarn, and I'm going to pull from there, and I'm going to join it. You know how to join it, I showed you already. So go ahead and join it and follow the pattern of 1, 2, 3 with the bright. So far this is how we look, all our tails, because this is the back of our work. This is front of our work so far. So we're trying to keep all our tails to the back of our work. And that's how we look when we join it and did the first bright yellow. So that would be 4. So we went ahead and did the next block with the bright yellow. So that's 5. So we have one more block to do with the bright yellow. And that will be block 6. But we have that we're going to switch over back now to the lemon. And it's here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold on to it while I'm making the last block of the bright yellow. Right, just keep it in front of my hook and slip stitch and do the regular block. Just hold on to it because we're carrying it, so we don't have to cut it and then weave in that tail. Makes it a little easier. And remember, these are in the back of our work, so it won't show. And that's how it looks when we do that, when we carry it. So that's our next one. So that's 6. So the next 2 block, 1, 2, will be in our lemon. So I want to put that over here. And then 1, 2 blocks in the lemon. What I'm going to do is we're going to make sure that when we do it and we carry it, it doesn't show it shows in the front of our work. To prevent that from happening with our lemon color showing in the front of our work, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to take my hook and then I bring it in the back of our work, or if you consider at the front, going this way, and then loop over my yarn so that I could pull it. So it falls to the back of our work, not in the front of our work. When you do it, you see. All right, and then you just change your color because it makes a difference when you do it that way. If you do it, because you just undo it and try it again, but we're preventing it from showing in the front. And now you just do the regular block. So now we did those 2 blocks with the lemon, and now after we did that, we're going to do another lemon, but we're going to switch back over to the bright yellow. And being that we're going to switch back to the bright yellow, it's over here like we did earlier. What I'm going to do is just carry it over so I don't have to cut it and then start again. So all I'm going to do is pull it up, and then we're going to slip stitch into that block that we have to make, that chain 2 space, and then just do the chain 2 in your block and pull against it a little bit so it stays nice and tight. And of course, with this method, I wouldn't recommend it with a baby blanket or anything that will do the both side would be the right side of our work. But with this pattern, we're using it for the throw pillow, so this will be covered by the pillow. This won't be showing. So you see how it has the yellow showing here and the white. I don't like that if you're doing something that's designed that will show the right side of our work on both sides. So I wouldn't recommend doing this if you have a project like that. But because we're gonna hide the back of our work eventually, we don't have to worry about it. So that's why I'm showing you this method. So remember now, we don't want our yarn to show up in the front, so we have to turn our hook. So I'm going to drop that, the lemon color, and I'm going to pick up the bright yellow, but it's the way I use my hook to pull up the yarn, it won't show to the front. So I'm going to go from the back and then pull it up. There you go. So then it stays, pull it up so you can see. So this part will stay to the back, because if you don't do that, this same loop of yarn will be showing in the front of your work. So that way it prevents it from doing that. So just do the regular block now. So that was block 10 with the bright yellow. So the following 2 blocks remaining for row 12, we're just going to use the white. So drop the bright yellow and just complete. With the white. Now we finished that with row 12, so we're going to start row 13. And then for row 13, what you're going to do is 1, 2, 3 of the blocks you're going to do in white. So go ahead and do that, and then we meet back up. Okay, so we did that for 3 times, 1, 2, 3 with the white to start row 13. So now the next block will be lemon, but we have our bright yellow here, and the next block will be the bright yellow. So we want to carry that with us as we work. And remember, this is the front of our work, so we don't want it to show. I'm going to drop the white. I'm going to hold on to the yellow, put it in the back, and then pick up the lemon and just start with the lemon. But I'm holding on to the bright yellow so that we can carry it with us. And just do a block with the, hold the yellow, pull it a little bit. Because all we're trying to do is trying to make it look nice, so we don't have these, but we want to carry the yarn, and we don't want to have to be weaving a lot of tails later on. So now we did that for 4, so that's the lemon, block 4. Block 5, we pick up the, I'm going to drop the lemon, but we're going to carry it also, because the next, after the bright yellow, we have our lemon to work with. Drop the lemon, and I'm going to start with the bright yellow. Tuck on the lemon to hold on to the bright yellow we just changed, and then just hold on to it as we work over it, because we're carrying it with us. So now 5 we did with the bright yellow, so 6 we need with the lemon. So I dropped the bright yellow. I'm going to pick up and see here when we did the previous row, I pulled it from the, went my hook to the back, and then I pull it up so I could hide it. For this row, since we're in the front, we don't need to do that. We could just go ahead, and keep that in mind when you're working too. When you want not the yarn to show in the front, that's what you're going to do. You're going to pull from, put your hook from the back and then work from there. But this is going to be regular because this is the front. So all you do is just drop your yarn you were working with and just start with the new yarn. And of course tug it in the back so it stays, holds on nice. And I'm going to complete this block with the lemon because I don't need the bright yellow in the next block. So we did block 6 with the lemon, and now we need 7, 8, and 9 with the lemon. But also too, I wanted to show you, this is how it looks like this when I'm working with all the different color yarns. So if you can take a moment and try to, you know, undo them so they don't weave up on you and make you get locked up into it. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'll show you too when we get, because when we get here we have to change back to the bright yellow, but the bright yellow is here, so we're going to carry this. I'll show you in a minute how to carry it. So I went ahead and did the 7th block with the lemon, and now we need an 8th block with lemon, 9 block with lemon, but we have our bright yellow here and we have to finish off with it. So I'm going to carry it. I showed you how to carry it already, but I'll show you again. So since it's the front of our work, I put it in the back, hold on to it, and just continue working with the lemon. Chain your 2. Then I'm going to hold on to it now, the bright yellow, and work over it. And then we're going to carry it to where we need it to. Block 7, block 8, now block 9, still with the lemon, but we're carrying the bright yellow as we work. That's our 9th block. So our 10th block will be with the bright yellow. So I drop the lemon, pick up the bright yellow, and do it regular. Don't have to come from the back because our work is, this is our back and everything is hidden in the back. I'm going to tighten up the pull on it, lemon, so it works better, and just do a regular block in the bright yellow. So that's 10, and now we have 11, 12, and 13. Those 3 blocks to do. We do them in the white. We did 3 blocks in the white, block 11, block 12, and block 13. Now to start row 14. That's basically it that we need to do and need to know how to do it in order to complete our pattern for our corner to corner when it comes to the increasing of the rows, because we do have to decrease, so I'll show you that too. But from here on, for row 14, row 15, and row 16, and so on till we get to row 21, I'll just come back in and tell you how many blocks of what color you need to do, because I showed you how to change it, how whenever you want to hide it, how to do it in the back, what to do. So all I'm going to do is just come back in and tell you, like row 14, you need to do 3 white, 1 of the bright yellow, and then the 2 lemon, and so forth and so forth. And that's it, because that's it what we're going to do till we get to row 21, and then when we get to row 22 we're going to start decreasing. So I'm going to come back in with more details at row 22 and show you how to do that. For row 14, what you're going to do is 1, 2, 3 blocks you're going to do in white. Then you're going to use the bright yellow, 1 lemon, go back to doing 2 bright yellow, and then 1, 2, 3 will be lemon, and then 1, 2 bright yellow, and 1, 2 with the white. So that's how we look when we completed doing row 14. So now we're going to start row 15. For row 14, whenever you carry your yarn so it doesn't show in the front, remember you grab it from the back and then pull it over so that our yarn that we carry doesn't show. So that's for this row, whenever we're doing it on the wrong side so it doesn't show on the right side of our work. Now for row 15, what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 white to start off with, 1 bright yellow, and then we have 2 of the lemon, and then we go back to the bright yellow, and then we do 1, 2, 3, 4 lemon, and we finish off with 2 of the colors with the bright yellow. Then we have 1, 2, 3 to do for white for row 15. So for row 16, we had to carry it a lot, our color yarn, because we started off with 1, 2, 3 with the white yarn, and then we went into the bright yellow, and then we went into the lemon. It's here, the lemon is here, and then we carried the yarn from the bright yellow because we're going to go right back into the bright yellow. And then we carried the lemon because we were going to jump right, because the 7th block was a lemon, and then we jump right back into the bright yellow for the 8th block, and then we drop the bright yellow, and then we continue carrying the lemon, and then we did the lemon for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We carried the lemon 5 times to make 5 blocks, and then we had the bright yellow from here, so we had to carry it. As you see here, this is the back of our work. We carry it till we get here, the 14th block, and we used it, and then we went to the white for the remaining 2 of that row. So for row 16, and that's it, and that's how we look when we complete row 16. So now we're going to start row 17. We started row 17, we did 3 white, 1, 2, 3, 4 with the bright yellow. So now we have to go to the lemon, but my lemon is connected all the way over here, and I didn't want it to carry it all that way. You want it because it could pull when you carry it that much. So what I'm going to do now, I haven't used because I've been using the center of the lemon color, so now I'm going to use from the top of the lemon, of the ball of yarn, and that's what I'm going to start putting it there. And of course we're at the front of our work, so you're going to put the tail in the back, and then continue working with row 17. Row 17, now you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with the lemon, and then you're going to finish off with 1, 2, 3, 4 with white. This is how we look when we completed row 17. So now we're going to start row 18. So I went ahead and started row 18. 1, 2, 3 that we have with the white yarn. 1, 2, 3. So now our pattern calls for us to go for the 4th now block that we need the bright yellow. So my bright yellow is connected here and here. So what I'm going to do here is where we're going to start cutting, so that we can, because I don't want to have to carry it all the way over here. That's too long for me. So I'm going to cut it, give it a tail so we could weave it in later. And then at this point you could unravel all of it so it stays, because we're like all connected to the other pieces we're using of yarn, the ends. So just go ahead and unwind it, and then we're going to put it up here and we're going to start working with it. So remember, this is the back of our work, so you leave the tail at the back and when you start attaching it. Now moving on with row 18, we did the fourth block here with our bright yellow, so we do it 1, 2, 3 more times, and then we're going to do the lemon, and then we're jumping into the, now we're going to do the cafe latte. And remember, I'm going to pull from the center to start with. Okay, so you're going to do that because you know how to do it. That's what we've been doing. I'm showing you. Okay, so we jump into the cafe latte. We do it 2 times, and then we would do the, go back to the bright yellow, lemon, 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 bright yellow, and then 1, 2, 3 you will do with the white. So I went ahead and completed row 18, and then I did row 19. So for row 19, what you're going to do now is you're going to do 3 in white blocks, and then you do 1 block. The 4th block will be in the bright yellow. Then you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 in the lemon, and then 1, 2, 3 in the cafe latte, and then come back to the bright yellow, then 1, 2, 3 in the lemon, and the last color will be in the bright yellow, and then you finish off with 1, 2, 3 of the white. I went ahead and did row 20, and with row 20 what you're going to do is you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 with white, and then you're going to do a bright yellow, 1, 2, 3 with the lemon, and 1, 2, 3, 4 with the cafe latte. Then you're going to do 1, 2, 3 with the lemon, and the last color is going to be the bright yellow, and then you're going to finish off with 1, 2, 3, 4 of the white for that row. Now we're going to start row 21, and row 21 will be our last row of increasing. I went ahead and did row 21, and with row 21 what you're going to do is you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the blocks with white, and then you do 1, 2, 3, 4 of the blocks you would do with the lemon, and 1, 2, 3 of the blocks you do with the cafe latte, 1 box with the bright yellow, and 1, 2, 3 of the lemon, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more blocks to complete row 21 with white. So now we're going to start row 22. So to start row 22, we're going to start decreasing. Now to start row 22 and to decrease, what we're going to do is turn our work. What we're going to do is we're going to put a slip stitch in each of our double crochet and the top of our double crochet. So we're going to put a slip stitch here, a slip stitch here, and a slip stitch here. And also in the chain 2 space, we're going to put a slip stitch. So you know how to do the slip stitch because that's what we've been doing. So just go ahead and put slip stitch on top of our double crochet, the 3 of them that we have, and in the chain 2 space. Here you go. And we're going to do what we've been doing to make blocks. Now we're going to chain our 2, and you're going to put 3 double crochet into that same chain space we just slip stitch into. And that's how we look now when we put our 3 double crochet. And for row 22, that will be our first block right here. So now for the next block, we need another white. So all you're going to do is exactly what we've been doing. Just do your slip stitch, your chain 2, and your 3 double crochet. To continue with row 22, 1, 2 more blocks you need with white yarn, and 1, 2, 3 you will do with the bright yellow. 1 block will be with the lemon. 1, 2, 3, 4 will be with the cafe latte. 1, 2, 3, 4 will be with the bright yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4 will be with the white, and that will complete row 22. Now we made it up to where we're going to complete row 22, and this is where we're at. This will be, when you count it, 1, 2, 3, but of course you start from the end you started with when we first decreased. This will be the 20th block that we made. So now what we're going to do, because we don't want to increase it, we want to decrease, because these are a decrease row. So you're going to find, this is our chain space that we would have been increasing. So we're not going to go there. We're going to go to the last double crochet facing us. We're going to put a slip stitch right there. And that's it. And that's how to finish our decrease row. When we're decreasing, that's how we finish our row. So make sure you have 20 blocks, because this will be the first one we made. Then you go 1, 2, 3, so on, so on. And then you get 19, and then you get to 20. Now we're going to start row 23. And this will be our first block. It will be a white. So you're going to do is turn your work, and now the following 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, and the chain 2 space slip stitch into those. I showed you how to do this already, but I'm just reminding you again. And then you're going to do your regular chain your 2 and do the regular 3 double crochet to make your first block. Now to continue on with row 23, you're going to do the following 2 blocks with white. Next block will be the bright yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4 lemon. 1, 2, 3 with the cafe latte, and 1, 2, 3, 4 with the lemon. 1 bright yellow, and 1, 2, 3 with white. So follow that pattern. And of course I showed you how when you decrease, how you end off and how you start. So go ahead and do it. Make sure that the completion of row 23, when we follow the pattern, that you finish off having 19 blocks that you made for row 23. Now we're going to start row 24. And with row 24, you're going to do 1, 2, 3 white, 1 bright yellow, 1 lemon, 1, 2, 3 bright yellow, 1, 2 of the cafe latte, 1, 2 lemon, 1, 2, 3 of the bright yellow, 1, 2, 3. Finish off with the white. So I went ahead and completed row 24, and with completion of row 24, make sure you have your 18 blocks.
For row 25, you need 4 white, 3 lemon, 2 bright yellow, 3 lemon, 2 bright yellow, and you finish off with 3 white.
When you finish doing row 25, make sure you have 17 blocks. When we completed row 25, we didn't have to pick up or use the cafe latte, the brown color, anymore. So I'm going to just grab my scissors and cut it off, and that's it. And that's one less of my yarn to deal with. Makes it look like spaghetti coming at us. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. Cut it off because we don't need it anymore. And now we're going to start row 26. So I went ahead and I did row 26. And with row 26, you need 1, 2, 3 white, 1, 2, 3 of the lemon, 1 bright yellow, 1, 2 lemon, 1, 2 bright yellow, 1 lemon, 1 bright yellow, and 1, 2, 3 of the white. So on the completion of row 26, make sure you have 16 blocks. Now we're going to start row 27. I went ahead and completed row 27. So for row 27, you need 1, 2, 3 white, 1, 2, the bright yellow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the lemon, 1 bright yellow, 1 lemon, 1 bright yellow, 1, 2 of the white. So at the completion of row 27, you need 15 blocks. And we're going to start row 28 next. So I went ahead and completed row 28. And for row 28, you need 1, 2 white, 1, 2 bright yellow, 1 lemon, 1, 2 bright, 1 lemon, 1 bright yellow, 1 lemon, 1 bright yellow, 1, 2, 3 of the white. So make sure you have 14 blocks made for row 28. Now we're going to start row 29. So I went ahead and did row 29, and for row 29 you need 1, 2, 3 white, 1 bright yellow, 1 lemon, 1, 2, 3 lemon, 1 bright yellow, 1 lemon, 1 bright yellow, and then 1, 2 of the white. And make sure you have 13 blocks made for row 29. And now we're going to start row 30. So I completed doing row 30, and for row 30 you need 1, 2 white, 1 bright yellow, 1, 2 of the lemon, 1 bright yellow, 1 lemon, 1, 2 bright yellow, and 1, 2, 3 of the white to complete row 30. And make sure you have 12. Now we're going to start row 31. So I went ahead and completed row 31, and with row 31 you need 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks of white, 1, 2, 3 blocks of the lemon, and 1, 2 blocks of the bright yellow, and 1, 2 blocks of the white to complete row 31. So make sure you have 11 blocks at the end of row 31. Now we're going to start row 32. I did row 32, and with row 32 you needed 1, 2, 3 white, you needed 1, 2, 3, 4 of the bright yellow, and 1, 2, 3 with white. And with the completion of row 32, you must have your 10 blocks made. Now we're going to start row 33. So I finish up row 33, and with row 33 what you need is 1, 2, 3 with white, 1 bright yellow, 1 white, 1 bright yellow, and 1, 2, 3 with the white. And that's for row 33. Make sure you have your 9 blocks. Now we're going to start row 34. And here for row 34, as you notice, now we're going to be working in all white moving forward now. So row 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, and 41. All you're going to be using is the white yarn. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and grab my scissors and cut off the remaining yarn that I still have attached that we were working with before. So I'm not going to be tangled up or restrained anymore. Yes, I want to get to use one color yarn, and it would be the white. So that's what I'm going to do. So you could go ahead and do that too. And moving forward from here, I'm just going to come back in when I hit the end to show you how we're going to end off, because all you're going to do is just white, and that's what we've been doing. If you got up to this point, you know how to do it. So when we get to the block to do for 41 row, I come back in. Now we made it to where we have only our last block to make, and that's for row 41, and this is where we're going to finish off. So we do it as we've been doing when we're decreasing the row. And you're just going to pull up a tail. We could tuck it in later, weave it in, grab my scissors, cut that off, and that's it. Now the next step for us to do is to tuck in all our tails that we have. This is the front of my crochet piece that I just did. So that's the front, and then this is the back. So that's how many tails I have. And when we carry our work, you can see it. And so I told you earlier, if you're doing a blanket or something that show the right side and the wrong side, or the boat has the right side, this method won't work for it because it shows. But this is, it's fine for this because this will be our right side of our work, and then this will be the wrong side of our work. So I'm going to show you how to tuck in one, but you got to go ahead and do all the others, even the ones that we have to the side when we finish off and when we start it. All right, make sure you tuck them all in before we move on. I'm going to show you the front. This is my yarn needle. Well, I'm going to show you the front, and this only this one, because I don't want it to weave in the front. So I'm going to do is just take it and put it in the back. There you go. And now I could start weaving it from the back. So I turn my piece on the back. So now I could weave it. What I'm going to do is going to keep it with the color of the yarn that I have, that I'm going to weave in, that's in my yarn needle. I'm going to go this way. It's just go up. I'm trying to go underneath. I don't want to make it come out in the front. So we're just trying to make it look nice as we go along. And then come back. Go on another stitch. Come back over here. And the thing is, you're going to feel it when you do it too. So if you're tucking in your ends, and by the end of tucking in all these ends, I would say you get professional at it. I think my yarn needle and my yarn will take one more under. I think that's good. And then grab my scissors, cut it off. Make sure you don't cut the piece that we crochet on. All right, so that's it. So you got to do all of these, and of course we still have a couple in the front. For me, if you don't have it, that's fine. Just bring them to the back and weave them in the back of our work, because this is the back of our work. So this is how the back of our work look when we took our time and tuck in all our ends that we have. And we had quite a few. And this is the front of our work. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and make another piece exactly of what we just did here. And then we meet back up, all right? So now we made our two pieces, 1 and 2. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put the pieces together because we have to crochet around it. We're going to start forming now the throw pillow. So remember a little stitch marker that helps us to remind us what the front of our piece is. So we're going to put the back together, the two back pieces together, and that's how we're going to crochet. And we're going to crochet around for 3 sides, and then we're going to stop so that we could put the pillow in, and then we complete crochet around. You get to decide what corner of our crochet piece you want to start. I'm going to start here. we're going to use the white color yarn, and to get it attached to our hook and to our crochet piece, we're going to do, I'm just going to find the, so that's the crochet stitch and how it looks when we did the double crochet. So I'm going underneath the first 2 loops that we have there, and to match it up with this corner, I'm using the chain 2 space. So I'm going right through that. I'm going to do is just like how we've been doing when we've been adding our yarn, just loop over my hook and pull it across, and then you're going to chain 1, and you know how to do the chain 1, and that attach our yarn to our hook and to our project, our crochet project. So I'm just going to pull the tail a little bit so it stays, and we're going to tuck that in later. All right, so don't worry about that. And now what you're going to do is we're going to use, as I said, the single crochet to go around. So now moving on to the next stitch right here, you see they have the double loops, so I'm trying to go with that, trying to line it up, go to the next piece, go underneath that, and 2 stitch here. And the single crochet is, we're going to go into that or stitch, and then we're going to pull up a loop, and then we have the 2 loops on our hook, yarn over, and you pull straight across. That's a single crochet. So that's our first single crochet. So we're going to put our stitch marker there to help us when we come back around to know where our first single crochet started. So that's my stitch marker to help me as I go along. So now I find the next stitch over. We're trying to line them up and keep them to match up. So you see, when you do it and you see it, you feel it, you know how to do it. Okay, there you go. This is the second one, and that's how the back looks so far. All right, again, the single crochet is fine. Just, you could gauge it and judge it too. You see, go into that double crochet, and of course you could turn it to the back and see it as you work. I'm doing the tutorial, so it's a little funny to do it. Anyway, so a single crochet, remember, is to go into those 2 that we're working pieces of the crochet, and then you pull up a loop of yarn, and then you have the 2 loops of yarn on your hook, and you're going to yarn over and pull straight across 2 of them. And that's how easy it is to do a single crochet. So go ahead and continue doing it. And also, when you get to the corner, put 2 single crochet in the corner, and then when you get to the other corner, put 2 single crochet, and so on until we get back. But remember, we're going to stop. I'm going to stop here when I put in that 2 single crochet at this corner, because we got to put the pillow inside. So I'll meet back up then. So try to keep it even and nice, and you gauge it and you see it when you do it. I reached up now to where I have my last piece to crochet around. Now we have to take our pillow and we're going to put it inside, and then we're going to start the last part to do so we could close it up. Just wanted to let you know, if you want to know how to cover the pillow with a fabric first before we insert it into our crochet piece, because with the technique of the corner to corner, it has little gaps and opening when we finish with it, so it can show through if you're using a different color yarn. But with this design of the yarn and pattern that we're using, it's fine. I'm not going to cover it for this tutorial, but I do have a tutorial that shows you how to cover it with the fabric to match the color of the yarn you're using, so it looks nice when you're finished. I put that information in the description, and I also cut off the little tag. I don't like that little tag, so I just went ahead and did that. So all we're going to do now is just continue what we've been doing with the single crochet around, and this will close up the opening that we have, and we just put the pillow in. Now I made it to where I have met up with my stitch marker, and remember when we started we only put 1 single crochet there, so I'm going to finish off and go right next to it and put another single crochet. So that would be the 2 single crochet in our corner of our work. And where our stitch marker is, all I'm going to do is slip stitch right there. And you know how to do the slip stitch, because that's what we've been doing. I'm going to pull up, so have a tail, and then we could tuck it in. I'll show you how to do that. Now I cut off my yarn and I attach my yarn needle. So what I'm going to do is, because we slip stitch to that first single crochet we made, so I just give it a little tug, make it whole, and I could take out my stitch marker. And what you're going to do in that stitch that we had the stitch marker, all we're going to do is just go in and hide our tail inside of our cover that we made, and just pull it. And it's going to be like that. And I'm going to cut that off, and also just go ahead and weave this one. I showed you, just weave it inside, attach your yarn needle and weave it inside and cut it off, and that's it. So that's it. That's how we look when we're finished. Go ahead and take out the remaining stitch markers that we have, and you did a pretty good job. You did awesome work. Came out lovely. Thank you for watching. I had fun showing you how to make the corner to corner sunflower throw pillar. I hope you had fun making it with me. Till next time, bye bye.